They are not giving away pro shots. They are not giving away pro shots. Bootlegs are not like this country. They are crappy and ugly, so we need to get more pro shots. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So as you probably know, the big news in the theater community over the last couple weeks is that thanks to Disney Plus, we now have a pro shot of Hamilton so that we can enjoy the show from our own homes, even those of us that can't actually make it to the theater. What I want to talk about today is that is something that when it comes to movies and TV, we've been used to that for over 40 years now, ever since VHS technology came in. And yet well into the 21st century, we still act like that kind of ability to enjoy home entertainment in the form of Broadway shows is just not feasible. Is that the case? We're going to look at that in this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank another theater YouTuber that I'm a big fan of, Cathie Steele. She did a video over the last weekend about this very topic, and she explained the concept of pro shots. You know, I've got my samples here. These are all pro shots of great Broadway shows. And she also explains the difference between a pro shot and a movie. Like she shows how, this, the one with Meryl Streep, of Into the Woods, that's a movie. This is an actual pro shot. Professionals recorded the live show with the original cast. And so I didn't even know the terminology until I saw that video, so I thank her for telling me that. But the other thing that she contributes is basically, she says, she was talking about how it was great that we're able to enjoy Hamilton in this manner, but she had kind of a pessimistic attitude that, if we're looking forward to seeing a lot more of that when it comes to Broadway shows, it's probably not going to happen, and she explains the reasons why. And she kind of finishes with a discussion of, what can we do for those of us that want to see more pro shots and more opportunities to see stuff if we don't want to, if we can't get to the theater and we don't want to watch illegal bootlegs that are of crappy quality. So I'm hoping to answer that here. Now, I think the most important thing to the understanding of this discussion is, once again, to compare live theater to movies. When VHS technology came along and gave us the opportunity to enjoy that from home, because a lot of the arguments that Catherine discusses in her video for why Broadway producers are so reluctant to have pro shots taken of their shows so that people can enjoy it from home are so reminiscent of arguments that the MPAA, Motion Picture Association of America, made about why they didn't want people to have access to movies in their home. They were sure that if people were able to see a movie from their home, they would never, ever, ever go to the theater. And we see right there, history has been real kind to that prediction, hasn't it? Now, if anything, the ability to refute that argument when it comes to live theater is even stronger, because the MPAA could at least make the argument, come on, how hard is it to take your family out to a theater, any theater that's playing the movie, and see it? But when it comes to Broadway, how many people can physically go to New York that don't already live there to see the show? So the argument that people having the ability to watch the show from their home means nobody is ever going to actually go see the show live in person anymore. I think that the example with what VHS technology did to movies, really illustrates that is not a good argument for not making theater available to people in their homes. And the other thing that I believe the MPAA's hostility toward allowing people to watch movies in their home can teach us today about applying the same thing to live theater is the fact that history has also shown that they were very short-sighted in saying that we wouldn't be able to make money off of our movies, if people can watch them in their homes. They were ignoring the fact that this was a whole new market, a whole new way for them to make money. I mean, couldn't the same thing be said about Broadway shows? I mean, it's a whole new way for them to make money on their production long after the show has closed. But one last thing about the desire to have more recordings of Broadway shows to enjoy from the home that we can learn from the motion picture industry's reluctance to provide the same opportunities in that field revolves around the issue of illegal bootlegs. Now, people do this with movies as well. They illegally film something with their phone in the theater. But I mean, it's not really that big an issue. I know when something big's coming out, I remember when the Star Wars movies came out, in the first weekend, the ushers were going up and down the aisles making sure nobody was recording, and still it didn't stop an illegal recording of it from being available within the first week. Yet it really isn't the same issue, and I think it's because of the availability of home video technology that you miss it in the theater. It was, you wait a while. Usually you don't have to wait 4 years like we did with Hamilton, but after a reasonable amount of time, you get the opportunity to rent the movie or DVD, or nowadays the streaming opportunity. And but the lesson that really teaches is the fact that if you're uncomfortable with people that illegally film Broadway shows from the audience, then I would say that's one more argument for why you got to get over your reluctance against recording it legally. Because, I'll bet that if the same thing were true with movies, if watching an illegally recorded movie from that somebody made with their cell phone is the only way you're going to see it, if you couldn't actually make it to the theater, I'll bet you that the problem of stopping people from doing that would be a lot greater. Just as if more pro shots were available, I think there would be much less of a problem with people finding illegal means to get around the lack of availability of the show to people outside of New York. So that leads me to the first thing I'd like to say about what we can do about this. I mean, first, I think we should just kind of, we need to emphasize that if you want to crack down on the people that are being illegal with it, you got to provide the pro shot. If you aren't going to provide a legal means by which people can pay a reasonable amount of money to enjoy it, then you shouldn't really be able to complain too loudly about people that are using the only method that is still available to them. But the main thing that needs to be done, in my opinion, if we really want to have more opportunities to enjoy Broadway shows the way that we're able to enjoy Hamilton right now, is that we, the fans, need to demand it. Because Catherine, in her video, she brings up something you might not know, is that it is prohibitively expensive to make those professional recordings of live performances, because they have issues with the producers, they have issues with the actors' unions and so forth. She explains all that in her video. But that's why I'm saying maybe it shouldn't be in the hands of the producers or the actors' unions. It should be in the hands of us, the fans. So what can we do? And I think the simplest answer to that is we need to demand it. We need to make it clear that they're reluctant to spend the money necessary to film this because they don't think they're going to get it back. They don't think that enough people are going to buy it, that they'll even break even, much less make a profit off of selling the DVDs of their pro shot or selling it to a streaming service like Disney Plus. But I just think, what if we find a way, like online petitions and so forth, when there's a show we want to see, we the fans can make it clear, if we want to see the show, we can't make it to see it in person, but we will pay for it in advance, and there's this many people that have made the commitment to do it. We're calling on them to make a recording of this show for us, and that we will pay for it. Or again, I know they might say, well, a lot of people will say they're going to do that, and then they never do, and then we lose money on what we spent on recording it. But what if, and I'm just throwing this out here, what if we what if every show on their web page, they had an opportunity for people to pre-order a pro shot that has not yet been made, and if enough people pre-order, they can go for it, and if not enough people pre-order that it's worth the effort to film it, they can refund the money. So that's just a thought. What does everybody think of that? Please let me know in the comments what you think of this idea. If you have other ideas for what we as theater fans can do to make theater more accessible for us in this manner, the way that Disney Plus has done it for Hamilton, please share those thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care now.